they got to turn themselves in, and then they've got to go through processing. And as we said, Trump will be processed. But more importantly, is that on September 5th, we do believe that that arraignment will be televised. And dude, the footage of that arraignment is just going to be something that will be just it'll be one for the ages, right? Because, and here's the worst part about it. Again, we might not see a lot before the election, but we'll see some proceedings, and we'll see the arraignment. But talk about how mobbish it's going to become, right? To see all of the, it's almost like Ocean's 11. See them all coming one after one another and pleading. I mean, does that not look mobbish, right? And I wonder, what the drama will be. But you'll have that footage of Trump being in front of a judge, having to plea, having to swear in, and they're going to be they're released on bail, but I'm sure their bail conditions will be repeated back to them, right? And Trump's going to have to sit there and listen to them. I mean, what are your thoughts on how it will look and what the reaction, how he'll behave, and what the reaction of the country will be when they actually see him? Not an etching, not sketches, but actual live footage of him in the courtroom.
Yeah, I think it's a complete game changer in this way. I learned in I'll say it 2005 history class with my teacher Mr. Frank, who talked about the difference between why Robert Kennedy or JFK, excuse me, won. JFK, if I'm not mistaken, was the first televised debate ever, and JFK, as you know, famously charming and good looking, and he was good. He was a great speaker, and because it was the first, I could be totally wrong. Someone fact check me, but the first televised debate was that one, and he mopped the floor with his opponent. And what I mean by that is visuals always will be remembered. If you talk about mobsters, John Gotti was the most, maybe the top five most famous mobster ever, and all people remember him. When you Google him, you're going to see a mugshot. Sammy the Bull, one of the most vicious kind of killers in the mob history. The biggest image of him is him testifying to the, I think it might have been Congress, but later on he flipped, and that's the biggest image of him. Al Capone, right? It's the mugshot. Um, OJ, right? Even when all the documentaries, all the TV shows now of OJ, all the cover art is OJ with his glove in the courtroom, right? People love that. People love that. They eat it up. Look at what happened with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and how much it was salacious in Hollywood, but people gobbled that stuff up. And so I know Sean Hannity was talking about T-shirts and let's flip them and let's campaign and put them on a T-shirt and make money. That they're trying to flip the narrative, but trust me, you don't want your political candidate his lasting image to be a mugshot. Here's the thing, John: the hair. Are they going to respect him enough? Is he gonna have a suit jacket on? Are they gonna put him in orange? Are they gonna have a white t-shirt? What if oh my god. What about his makeup? What about his hair? What if he looks disheveled, John? Like, have you thought about that? Are they gonna respect him enough to say, hey, you're a former president, I get it, we'll let you look in a mirror? Or you think they're just gonna run him through like they would anybody?
It, it's hard to say, because I think that's the other thing though too, is while this will be televised, the other element is that Georgia plans on treating him like a criminal defendant. The other three jurisdictions kind of gave him a pass, but they're trying to treat him like they would treat any criminal defendant. Now, the I've heard the sheriff once or twice kind of equivocate and say, as far as I know, up until now, this is what we plan on doing. Um, I don't, we already talked before about the whole possibility of jailing him or handcuffing him. What's funny, I can see him jailed before I can see him handcuffed, because the the Secret Service can advance the jail. They can go in and they can get the cell all set up and they can, protect him. But I think that there's something about your protectee wearing cuffs. Um, and here's a question: If he's cuffed, do they have a situation where, because the Secret Service is sworn officers, he would be cuffed, but he would be in their custody, right? Is there some type of special rule that would be made where he would be in Secret Service custody, but there is custody? And what's funny is, I wonder if there are Secret Service guidelines, or if they're in the process of drawing, like, what do you do when your protectee is a criminal defendant? They, you know that this is the, can you imagine that? This is the first time the Secret Service has had to figure out, what do you do if your protectee is a criminal defendant? Dude, that is messed up.